Hey everyone, James here again. Over the weekend, I spent time watching 3 different live stream performances. This wasn't exactly unusual. I mean, I've spent a lot of time watching them over the last several months, and I'm sure many of you have as well. If you're an artist, you've probably even been performing online a bit. But it got me to thinking about how people can make money from doing this. I mean, not all live streams are created equal, and certainly they don't all bring in the same amount of money. But as far as I can tell, there are at least 7 ways to make money using live streams right now, and I want to tell you about them in today's video. Now, a quick disclaimer before we get into the list. If you're a new artist who only has a couple hundred listeners on Spotify and doesn't really have a giant community around you just yet, I wouldn't worry so much about making money as much as making sure people actually see your event. And some of the advice I'm going to give in this video might help you, but I don't want you to be focused on things like selling tickets to your live stream performance, because if you can't get anyone to come, doing the performance in the first place doesn't really matter. This video is for people that already have an audience who's been asking them to do something and who want to do it in a manner that brings in a little bit of money and continues to raise awareness. But if you're just getting started, I would merely focus on putting on a really good performance. And if you do a couple of those, then maybe the rest of these tips will come in handy. For everyone else, let's get to that list. Kicking things off right at the top of this list is selling tickets for your live streams. Now, this only applies to people who can meet 2 qualifications, those being really good sound and really good picture quality. Because when the pandemic first started, everyone turned to Instagram Live and Facebook Live for their performances, which is perfectly fine because those platforms have really large communities, and when you go live, it tends to be sticky to the person's front page, which brings a lot of eyeballs. That's great, but if you want to do something a little bit more premium for your die-hard fans and just to make the whole thing an event, then charging tickets is okay as long as you can guarantee a memorable experience. And that starts with good sound and good lighting. If you can do those 2 things, you're good to go. But if you haven't mastered them yet, I wouldn't use this step. But if you can, let's assume that you do. If you figured out a way to sound good and look good on camera, then sell tickets to your event. Make them reasonably priced, just like if they were coming out to see you at a club, and considering bundling them with other options. I recently watched Orville Peck do his annual rodeo performance online, and one of the options, in addition to buying a ticket to the live stream, was the ability to get a signed poster celebrating the live stream. So this was an event-specific poster that you could get exclusively by buying a ticket to the event. And the markup was actually pretty reasonable. I think it was $20 to watch the live stream, or $50 if you wanted to get the signed poster along with it. And that's not including shipping. Now, I can't say that you'll be able to get $50 for a poster and a live stream admission, but you could probably get 20 bucks if you have a diehard fan, and that's pretty good. That's a good start. And with everything else, we're leading into having a really good return on investment for your live stream performance. Next, going along with the idea of selling tickets and having a bundle item that goes with the ticket, let's talk about exclusive merch. Every artist is promoting their web store right now. You probably have some designs that you put up since the pandemic began just to keep people engaged and hopefully bring in a little fresh revenue. Those will probably sell in a bit higher volume just because you're doing a live stream that's of high quality. But if you want to add an extra kick to your merch sales, go ahead and put in a few performance exclusive items. Now, people can buy these after the fact, but don't list them and don't post them, at least an image of them, until the night of the event. Tease that they'll be exclusive merch items, but save them for the event itself so that when people log on, you'll see a link that you post or share on social media that gives people the opportunity to celebrate the night because they've been planning for this. In the world of the pandemic, when nobody has plans, they've bought a ticket and they're making it a point to watch your live stream. And they might want to commemorate that because they probably haven't had a bunch of big deal nights in the last couple of months. And exclusive merch can help them do that. Whether you make a t-shirt that has a bunch of fake tour dates on the back, whether it's a face mask that you're selling for the very first time, a poster, whatever you can come up with, make exclusive merch and sell it during your performance. You can sell it after the performance because some people like to buy old merch for special occasions. But give your fans something to commemorate the night, because that live stream is going to go away. Nobody gets a download of the event. They just watch it one time, maybe 2 times if they watch the replay, and then it's gone forever. But that merch item can last a long time. And every time they see it, they're going to remember that during the pandemic, you went out of your way to give them something special. And that's a bond that's going to last for a long time. So exclusive merch items, go all in. Now, as we move into this next one, it feels like a good time to mention that there is a risk involved with all of these. I mean, if you're going to charge admission fees for your live stream, there's a risk that people may or may not show up. And if you're going to make exclusive merch, there's a risk involved with how much you should print versus how much people are going to be willing to buy. And the third one also has a risk, but I think it's one worth doing because, again, in the long run, the return on investment is great. If you haven't done so already, go on Facebook, go on any social media platform where your audience exists, and take the classes that that platform offers to understand their digital ad solutions. And once you do, make some ads for your event. Compile old live footage and music videos, mash it all up, and make a video that promotes your upcoming live stream. Give people a taste of the best song that you have and what your live performances look like, and ask them to come join the show. If you want, go ahead and include a coupon code that makes seeing the ad and acting on it a little bit more incentivized. Maybe 25% off whatever you're charging already, just to get people in the door. Because if you can get them in the door and they're watching and they're engaged, there's a chance they'll buy merch, follow you online, or come out to a show when shows resume. I think it's worth the cost, and I think that if you get a good return on it, you'll thank me later. So targeted ads are a really good way to ensure that you get a little bit of money back in the long run. Moving on, I have two ideas here that kind of go together, and both of them don't necessarily immediately generate income, but will over time help your career and therefore bring in more money. The first is to make this event, this special event, something that the world knows about by reaching out to the press. You want to reach out to any blog that's covered you in the past, any writer that's even mentioned you on Twitter, and ask them to promote your show. Ask them to share a post or share a flyer or share the video ad that you made and tell people about what you're doing. And if they take an interest in it, if they not only agree to post about it, but tell you that they're excited, go ahead and give them an access link for free. As a journalist myself, I've been invited to several shows recently that I may or may not have actually spent the money on, but was 100% willing to watch because I was offered an access code. And I tweeted about the shows, I posted them on my Instagram stories, I shared them on our company and Facebook feed, all because I wanted to give back to these people that were giving me something to watch and enjoy during this time. So reach out to the press first and foremost. Find the people who are already interested in your band, reach out to them and ask them to share this special event. And if they take an interest in a meaningful way, go ahead and offer them an access code, because if they start posting about it and covering it, that's just more and more exposure for what you're doing. And that gives this one event a whole bunch of content creation across the internet that's going to drive more and more eyes to your career, and in the long run, bring in more fans, bring in more attention, and give you the opportunity to really make the most of this moment. Next, number 7, though I think we're going to add one bonus one in here, but for number 7, I want you to do this if you have the ability to do so, and that is partner with a local promoter or venue to make this show something special for the local music scene. Now, if you're doing your part as an artist right now, you're probably already tweeting about #SaveOurStages, the effort to make sure that independent venues everywhere stays open. Now, I don't know what the rules and laws are where you live, but if you are good friends with a venue in your area, consider doing your performance there. If they have the ability to host you and allow you indoors and you have the cameras needed to make the live stream event happen, partner with a local venue to bring attention to their space, promote their efforts to, save their business, and have a really good stage to perform. I mean, the lights are already there. They probably have a good sound system, and if you can plug into the board to get the audio for your live stream, it's going to sound great. So consider partnering with a venue. Or another way to do this would be to partner with a promoter in your area, somebody that's already booking shows when shows happen, and get them to help spread the word. Maybe you make a percentage deal with them. I know a lot of very high-level artists and major record labels are doing this in a very big way right now with Ticketmaster. Artists like Megan Thee Stallion are partnering with Live Nation to promote their concert, and if people buy tickets using the Live Nation link or code, then Live Nation gets a small percentage of those ticket sales on the back end. Now, if you know a promoter in your area that has all the hardcore contacts and you're a hardcore band, why not cut them a small percentage of your ticket sales if they agree to promote your show using a special link or a special code or what have you? It's kind of the reverse of how a door deal works at venues right now, which is they give unsigned bands a bunch of tickets and say, if you sell these tickets, you'll get paid for it. Same thing with the promoter. Promote our show. If it goes well, you'll get a little kickback, because those venues and those promoters need money right now just as much as you do. And they'll probably be happy to see a band in the area doing something special to get the word out about their music and their local scene. Lastly, this is considered a bonus item because it might take a lot longer to bring you a good return, but it's worth doing. Because if you're going to take all the time and frankly money to put on a really good live stream event, you don't want it to just air once and then never be seen again. Why not take that footage and use it in different ways? Not right away, because you don't want people who bought a ticket to feel like you're going to just turn around and put that footage out for free. Definitely don't do that. But save your performance. If it turns out really well, save that performance and add it to your press kit so that when you reach out to promoters and labels and agents in the future, you can show them your live show. You can show them the quality of your output and how serious you take what you're doing. And maybe in a month or 3 months or 6 months, you can start cutting out clips of that performance and uploading it to your YouTube channel or sharing it on social media. You have all this new video content that you can use for ads and other promotional. Maybe you put it in your story on Spotify when Spotify stories come out, or you make it the looping video that comes on your Spotify canvas. There are so many ways to repurpose this footage. Just don't do it too soon. Because if you charge $10 for people to watch your live stream and 3 days later it's available for free everywhere, your fans are going to be so mad because they want this to be a special moment, and you need to make sure that you preserve the specialness of what's happening right now. So wait a month, wait 3 months, wait 6 months, and then share that footage publicly. But in the meantime, put it out on the back end, put it in your press kit, send it to websites that are interested in covering your band, send it to potential managers, send it to anybody that takes an interest in your band on a business end, just to show them what you're capable of. To show them that when the pandemic happened and everybody was freaking out and artists didn't know what to do or how to make money, you put in the time and effort to make something very special for your audience. Because that shows that you understand how to forge and harness the power of your community, how to build an audience and keep them engaged with what you're doing, even in the midst of a global pandemic. And if you can prove that, people are going to take you more seriously. They're going to care about your career, and they're going to want to hear more about your music and what you're doing. So don't let this footage just go away in the void of the internet. Save it and make sure that you reuse it moving forward. Now, I wish I could tell you that this is all a temporary thing and that we will not be talking about live streams again in the future, but given the current state of the world, we might, because right now, this is the best way for people to experience live music. And even though it's not technically live in some cases, and it's not really the same energy, it's much more than nothing. And I personally love it, and I think when done right, it can really help generate and excite an audience. So make sure that you make the most of this opportunity. And if you need more advice on this or any other aspect of the industry, or you just want to know when is live music coming back and what things are being done to make sure that it's safe to do so as soon as possible, then subscribe to this channel, because Music Biz exists to help you understand the music business. Whether that means how to market a new album, or what's happening with Live Nation and Ticketmaster, or what the government is doing to stop the coronavirus, we try to cover all those things right here on this channel. And I'm typically your host through it all. So please click that button down below and join us. And if you've already done that, well, then there's only one thing left to do, and that is to take care of yourself, because you deserve it.